Why do NFL draft busts hurt your fantasy football team? Imagine spending your valuable draft picks on players you believe will carry your team to victory, only to find out they fall short. That's what happens when NFL draft busts happen in fantasy football. These players were highly touted because of their draft position, but they don't meet those expectations. When they underperform or get injured, your team suffers because you counted on their production. In fantasy football, success depends on players who regularly gain yards, score touchdowns, catch passes, and rack up points. When a player chosen early in the draft turns into a bust, it means you lose out on the points you expected. This can hurt your weekly totals and overall standings. Especially in leagues where you keep players from year to year, a bust can slow down your long-term plans. You might have invested a high draft pick in a young player only to see them struggle or get injured, wasting valuable draft capital. Draft busts also cause opportunity costs. If you spend a top pick on a player who doesn't perform, you miss out on selecting a more productive player later. Every pick in a fantasy draft is limited, so wasting a high pick on a bust means you could have added a better contributor. When a bust underperforms, your team's scoring drops because they don't produce the yards, touchdowns, or receptions you expected. This makes it harder to win weekly matchups and stay competitive. Roster stability is another issue. When a bust happens, you often scramble to find replacements through waivers or trades. But finding a player of similar quality quickly can be tough, especially if the bust was a key part of your team. In keeper or dynasty leagues, where you hold onto players across multiple seasons, a bust can stall your rebuilding process. It wastes draft picks and limits your options for future seasons. Preseason hype can also be misleading. Players with high draft status often come with inflated costs, making it tempting to pick them early. But if they don't perform, you've overpaid for a player who doesn't deliver. To avoid this, it's smart to evaluate a player's health, team situation, offensive role, and past performance. Using models and expert analysis can help you identify which players are more likely to bust. In the end, NFL draft busts hurt your fantasy team because they waste your draft resources, reduce your scoring potential, and force you into reactive moves that can weaken your roster. Especially in leagues where long-term planning matters, avoiding busts is key to building a strong, consistent team.